Hey everyone, what's up? This is WonderFizz from World of Bizarre. This is the creation of our new YouTube channel. This will be the first episode that I'm going to do. It's kind of an introduction, but I'm going to be talking about a few things that's went on recently. Um, but yeah, welcome to the YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe and enjoy the videos. If you're not familiar with World of Bizarre, it's a website that I created so that I could post game reviews, game articles, and some of my own short fiction, short stories. It's not as active as I'd like, but keep in mind that it's not my job. I have other things to do, and so I'm not as active as I'd like to be. But I'm going to try to be more active, and this is a way that I'm going to try to do that is by creating this YouTube channel to where I can post podcasts, game reviews, all sorts of things like that. Sometimes I'm not maybe not in the mood to write an article, but maybe record a short video and talk about some things that I'm passionate about. And something happened this recent, just a few days ago, actually, that I'm very, very passionate about. If anyone knows me, they know that Halo is my favorite franchise of all time. I have a lot of memories with Halo, and it's a franchise that I grew up with. I still remember being a young kid playing Halo 3 multiplayer co-op with like my friends and brothers. I'll never forget those memories, and throughout my life, I've just followed Halo. I remember Halo Reach getting that game on my birthday in 2010 when it came out. Um, I remember the Halo 4 launch. I remember Halo 5 launch. I've followed this franchise for a very long time. I've played through all the campaigns many, many times. I just adore the series. And Master Chief is without a doubt my favorite gaming character of all time. And so on the 15th of November, Xbox had their 20th anniversary stream. Obviously, November 15th, 2001 was when the original Xbox and Halo Combat Evolved launched. Um, and unfortunately, it had leaked early. Man, this announcement would have been so great had it not been leaked. But it was leaked, and everyone kind of expected this to be announced, and it was, thankfully. At the end of the 20th anniversary stream, 343 announced that Halo Infinite was going into beta today, leading up to the official launch on December 8th. So if you have a Series X, Series S, Xbox One, or PC, you should definitely download this game. I've been playing it for the past 2 days religiously. It is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. I've had a lot of problems with Halo since 343 took over. Um, the campaign in Halo 4 was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed the campaign in Halo 4, although there were some changes that I wasn't a huge fan of, particularly with like the change of art style and stuff. Although the Forerunner structures and stuff were kind of cool, it really, it was such a drastic change compared to what the foundation that Bungie had set up throughout the original trilogy. But still, Halo 4 had a phenomenal story. Loved what they did with Chief and Cortana. It was a really, really great story. And the Prometheans were an amazing enemy. Really liked the Prometheans. Um, but the multiplayer in Halo 4 was subpar to say the least. It was not balanced, and the maps were horrible. And it was really just trying to, copy the trends at the time. It was really trying to be Call of Duty when, Halo is not Call of Duty, and it should be built on its strengths. It should be built on what made the series so great. And with Halo Infinite, man, it just seems like 343 for the first time have really got it. And when I say for the first time they've really got it, you know, again, Halo 4 campaign really good. But it was definitely like, hey, we're 343, we're going to tell our version of Halo. We're going to take, obviously the stuff in the past still matters, but we're going to do our own thing. And it was really good, but it really divided the community. And again, the multiplayer was not good. And then fast forward to Halo 5, and it was just so weird because the campaign, although there was some cool things, Halo 5, I don't believe it has a complete horrible story. It wasn't good, and primarily comes down to like the marketing. I really think if there was no marketing for Halo 5, people would have had a way better reaction to that game. But the marketing just set it up to be something that it wasn't. Um, so Halo 5 didn't have a horrible story, but it was not good, especially compared to the past games and Halo 4 and yeah, it was not a great campaign. But the multiplayer, although not perfect, it was really fun. They did a lot of good things with the multiplayer in Halo 5. Also, I'm sorry, I just forgot. I've got some gameplay here set up. I don't have I don't have any Halo Infinite gameplay, unfortunately. I haven't been able to get any, but here's some random gameplay that I have on my computer. Um, but yeah, Halo 5 story was not great, but the multiplayer was really fun and a lot of people enjoyed it. Um, and so going forward, when we were thinking about the next Halo, it was like, well, 343 need to nail both. In Halo 4, you did a really good campaign. In Halo 5, you did a really good multiplayer, but you haven't done a game where both. I mean, if you look back at the Bungie games, man, my God, you had masterpiece stories combined with amazing multiplayer. Halo 3, still to this day, in my top 5 of all time. The story in Halo 3, still, when I replay this game, still, the story in this game is just so fucking good. And the multiplayer is just as good. I mean, today, if you go into a Halo 3 arena game, it is as competitive as it was in 2007. Um, Bungie just knew what they were doing, and I think that we've been waiting for 343 to really get it. And man, I'm here to tell you right now, if the campaign in Halo Infinite delivers, 343 have got it. They have finally got it. Because the multiplayer, the art style, the sandbox, everything is speaking back to those old Halo days, man. And it's so beautiful. Like it's such a return to form. It seems like, it really feels like, if you would have showed me Halo Infinite multiplayer gameplay in like 2008, I would have said, oh, and like if you'd have told me like, dude, this is like Halo 5 or Halo 6 made by Bungie right here, I'd be like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy, and I would have believed you because it looks like a Halo game, it feels like a Halo game, it plays like a Halo game, um, and it's fun as hell. Like it's fun. Like these past 2 days I've been playing the multiplayer in Halo Infinite, and my God, like it's so fucking fun. It's so addicting. I can't stop playing. Um, I'm blown away. I really am blown away, and I'm just crossing my fingers that on December 8th I have the same reaction to the campaign. Um, the stories in Halo mean a lot to me. I love the lore, I love the characters, and I'm really rooting for 343 to just knock it out of the park. And Halo Infinite speaks to what the vision, that the vision for Xbox going forward is so strong, and I think that now more than ever, people are really starting to see like, okay, Xbox are really building something here, and it's going to be an amazing time. Um, you just look at, you know, what Xbox are building is really focused around you if you're a Game Pass subscriber. Um, and man, like just within the past few weeks, Forza Horizon 5, the highest rated game of 2021 for $15 a month, like that's yours. Every bit of it, all of the gameplay, you're not missing out on anything. Like you're giving it all. Um, on the 11th, you get GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, which I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Um, and now, and which you don't need Game Pass to play the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta, but still, it's just the fact of it doesn't appear, everyone was always worried about, oh, Xbox is going to a subscription service, $10 a month or whatever, like it's not a sustainable business proposition. So that means the quality of the games are going to dip. Um, and I think that people are starting to realize, like, oh, like, not only is the quality not going down, the quality is going up. Forza Horizon 5 is better than Forza Horizon 4. It's better than Forza Horizon 3, in my opinion. It's better than any Forza Horizon we have gotten. and I loved every one of them, but 5 is better than all of them. Halo Infinite. I mean, I don't, I just talked, 10 minutes about that game. Like it's a return to form for the franchise. The quality is there. The attention to detail is there. The love from 343, you can feel it when you play the game, when you hear the game, the sound design on that BR when you're shooting it in the game. My gosh, like it's there. And I think people are really starting to realize like, okay, like, and there's even more coming, like if you look to the future of Redfall, um, Forza Motorsport, Starfield, like, and that's a big one for me. Starfield, like Starfield is coming out next year, a new Todd Howard Bethesda RPG, and I get to play it for $15 a month. Fable, Perfect Dark, Obsidian, Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, like all these studios that Xbox has, Doom, like Doom and Master Chief, like Doom Guy and Master Chief are under one roof. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy what Microsoft are building, and I think people are starting to realize that, and they're only going to see it more and more in the future. Like Xbox aren't done. When these games, when they start releasing, man, it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be a fun time to own a Series X or PC or Series S or whatever you own. Like if you're just a Game Pass subscriber, man, it's going to be fun for you. And I, for one, am very impressed. I'm very, very hyped for Halo. I cannot wait for December 8th. I cannot wait. Like, I'm so ready to dive into that campaign, to just get lost in a Halo story again. It's been so damn long. Halo 5 came out in 2015. Think about what you were doing in 2015. That was a long time ago for me. I think I was still in high school when Halo 5 came out. I'm ready to be lost in a Halo campaign, and this one just looks so good. Looks like a return to, like I said, a return to form, going back to the Halo Combat Evolved days. Ugh, I'm ready. I'm so ready. Um, might go back to talking about Xbox in a minute. I wanted to delve into a little bit of some Game Awards talk and some GTA Definitive Edition talk. First off, GTA Definitive Edition. Hold on, let me get. There we go. I have not played much of the GTA Definitive Edition yet. Um, I downloaded San Andreas on my Series X, but I haven't really gone on there and played much of it. Um, to say the reception has been bad is an understatement. um, when it was announced, I was so hyped. Like when these rumors were coming out, like, oh my god, the GTA trilogy, we're going to get Unreal Engine remasters of the. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that Rockstar was going to do something like that. Going back and remastering these old games because I think it was a year ago I was actually replaying GTA 3 on my PS4, and that's the original PS2 version. Um, game in terms of visuals, like and all that, like still holds up, but the combat has not held up great. Um, and the idea that they would go back and retouch, like retouch up those classics, I couldn't believe it. And when we saw the trailer, it was kind of divisive. I, for one, was not like I, I thought it looked good when I saw the trailer. I thought they were just going for, because again, like GTA today is like very realistic and stuff, but it it was a little bit different back in the day, especially with the with the loading screen um, sketches and stuff, and like the cover arts and stuff that they were going for. It wasn't like, yeah, like that was kind of the vibe they were going for, like not totally realistic, kind of cartoony. Um, and to me, it just made sense. Like I said, I didn't have a bad reaction to that, but now that the games are out, I've been seeing so many clips on Twitter and so many things that people have been saying, and I understand. I really do. I understand why people were upset. Um, I think it's just another situation where, I mean, let's be real. Take-Two is a shady corporation. There's a lot of shady corporations in this industry, especially Activision, one of them. And for all you that know what's going on with Activision right now, yeah, there's a lot of shady corporations, especially with the publishers. They're not good people, and so I'm not going to sit here and blame Rockstar for it because I don't know. I don't know what went on with that situation, but I can tell you that I do think it was probably released too early. It was probably a situation where Take-Two wanted to capitalize and make money. Um, And like I said, I'm not going to blame Rockstar for that because maybe Rockstar didn't want to put the game out. Maybe they knew that it wasn't ready. Because Rockstar, as we know, are a studio that pride themselves on quality. They release quality games. They take their time. And Rockstar is one of my favorite studios of all time. I adore their games. I've loved their games since I was a kid. Um, I mean, this trilogy means a lot to me. My earliest gaming memories, being on my PS2, muting the TV so my parents couldn't hear the cuss words, and playing GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice City. So I still think that it's not horrible from what I've seen, especially from a lot of like Rockstar fans on Twitter. There's some moments in these games where it's like, man, this really is beautiful. Like it really is really nice to go back and revisit these classics with this new, coat of paint on them. But I definitely think that Rockstar, they probably should have took more time on it to make sure that it was polished, regardless of graphics. Regardless if people think, oh, this doesn't look good. There's just so many moments and clips on Twitter that I've saw where it's like, yeah, this probably wasn't ready to release. But I can't speak too much on it. I'm going to try to dive into San Andreas at some point and see what's going on there, and see how it holds up on Series X. And whenever I do another episode, I'm sure I'll talk about that a little bit more. But I'm excited to get into San Andreas and play it. I'm still really excited to play the Definitive Edition. And I think that if you haven't played the original trilogy, I still think you should buy the Definitive Edition, mainly because, again, I don't know how much they fixed with the aiming, but I know in the original trilogy, the aiming and stuff, the gunfights and stuff, it has not aged the best. But I still think those games are masterpieces, and they're genre-defining games. They did a lot for the industry. They, defined a genre, the open world genre. Everyone who makes open world games now, that's the standard they go for, is the Rockstar standard. So, um, Rockstar's still the best, in my opinion, the best studio ever. But I am worried about their future. Dan Houser, an absolute legend, he left a few years ago, and ever since then I've been worried about the direction of the studio, and this doesn't help. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that GTA 6 is going to be well worth the wait. But I'm not going to talk about GTA 6 anymore. I've been talking about that for years, and it's obvious that whenever Rockstar's ready, they're going to tell us about it, but they're not ready yet. So, um, yeah, the Game Awards. The Game Awards nominations came out. Some people are mad, some people are not mad. I thought Forza Horizon 5 deserved a nomination. Mainly because, again, it's the highest rated game of this year. People love it. It's quality. It's fun. Why doesn't a game like that deserve a nomination? And a lot of people think it's because, racing games and stuff like that don't get the same love that other games do. Um, yeah, I'm not going to try to. I mean, all the people that work for the Game Awards and that are on the panel, I trust them and that they know what they're doing. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about that stuff. I would say personally for me, I do think Forza Horizon 5 at least deserved to be nominated. Um, as much as I love the game, it's still not my game of the year. My game of the year is Psychonauts 2. You can read my review on worldofbizarre.org. Um, but yeah, Psychonauts 2 is still my game of the year. But I still think Forza Horizon 5 deserved a nomination because, a studio like Playground that for years have been, I mean, look at the Metacritic scores for Forza Horizon 2, Forza Horizon 3, Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5. I mean, Playground Games is one of the best studios in this industry. And man, just playing Forza Horizon 5, like, I'm reminded of why the wait for Fable is so damn hard. I cannot wait to play that game. I'm a huge Fable fan. It's been going for so long, and a studio of Playground Games caliber is working on it. It's going to be a fun time. But I think that they deserved a nomination. They didn't get it. They got other nominations, which is awesome. I think they'll safely take home best sports slash racing game. I don't think that's a contest. But yeah, I think it deserved a nomination. I'm also a little surprised Returnal didn't get a nomination. A lot of people really enjoyed that game. Um, I don't personally agree with Resident Evil Village and Ratchet and Clank being nominated for Game of the Year. Um, Resident Evil Village, I reviewed it on this website, and I think I gave it a 9. That was when we were still doing scores. We don't do scores anymore. We do like overall grades because scores are just such a hot topic in the industry these days. You give a game a 9 or you give a game a 7. Like a 7 means the game sucks apparently. Like everyone, oh, that game got a 7, that means it sucks. It's like what? So I'm not doing scores anymore. But Resident Evil Village, I gave it a 9 at the time, but I definitely don't agree with even my own score. I would say that game, probably an 8, 7.58 is what I'd give Resident Evil Village. It was just very forgettable, and I'm sorry, but it was just. I've talked with my friend before about this, and he agrees that just like Resident Evil Village just sort of came and went, and I would even say the same for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Like those games just sort of released and that was it. Like it just, especially for me, like after I played Resident Evil Village, it wasn't like a week after I was like, man, that was a fucking great game. It was like, yeah, it was good. Resident Evil 7 still better. I mean, Resident Evil 7 is one of the best in the series. I mean, that's a top tier game right there. And did Resident Evil Village outdo Resident Evil 7? No, not really. So I don't think that game deserved a Game of the Year nomination. I would have probably put, and like I said, I mean, switch out Ratchet and Clank and Resident Evil and Returnal and Forza Horizon 5. I mean, I think that's how it should have been. But again, I'm not on the panel. I'm not going to sit here and tell someone else how to do their job. If you believe that a game was Game of the Year, then your opinion is just as good as anyone else's. And in my opinion, I'm going to be casting my vote for Psychonauts 2. That's what I believe is Game of the Year this year. That game had a unique, just so unique. Like in my review, I said it. Like it's just so unique. Like there's no game that you will play that's like Psychonauts 2. And it's one of the best platformers ever. It's just a phenomenal game, and that's the Game of the Year for me. And which I know like Halo Infinite unfortunately can't be nominated this year. I was really hoping it would be able to get nominated this year because I thought that this was the best chance that it had. Because next year, man, there's just so many great games coming out. But when it's all said and done, at the end of this year, it's very possible that Halo Infinite will be my Game of the Year. But at the moment, it's still Psychonauts 2. I think that game was just absolutely phenomenal, and everyone should play Psychonauts 2. Which again goes back to Xbox's vision, and Double Fine's an Xbox studio now, and it's very nice to see Xbox having 2 studios with games in Game of the Year. Deathloop and Psychonauts 2, and I think that's a sign of. And I think them as a publisher, Xbox and Bethesda, they had the most nominations at Game Awards. So for all the people that was screaming at Xbox to get some better games and stuff like that, well, you have it. You now have it. So I don't know. I haven't looked much at the other nominations. I'm going to do a video on this channel, and I'm going to go through and cast my vote for everything. So be on the lookout for that, just so I can sort of go through and vote on things and give my opinion on everything. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about the Game Awards because, like I said, I haven't really went through all the nominations that they did. I just saw a lot of people arguing on Twitter about the Forza Horizon 5 thing, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. But I think that's going to do it for the first episode here. I don't have much more to talk about, and it's almost 25 minutes recording, so that's a pretty good length of an episode. But I don't know if you'd call this a podcast or not, but I guess that's what I'm going to call it, or I don't know what I'll name the video. But if you did watch until the end, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you like the content. I hope you check us out on Twitter. At The Wonder Fizz is me. At World of Bizarre is my website's page. Go follow us on there. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. And yeah, hope everyone has a good day, and hope you all play some games and have a good week. And stay safe. And I'll see y'all later. All right, thanks for watching.